I'm sitting here writing down scores. Nice. Hey, welcome to the Coach Scott Field Show here from beautiful Brave Haven Studios here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Guys, it was a beautiful day. It seems like we always start off talking about the weather, but man, it was in the 60s today.
It was in the high 60s.
Oh, high 60s today. I was downstairs at a conference and I was like, man, this is beautiful. But just gorgeous weather we've got here in the Salt Lake Valley, huh, gentlemen?
Yeah.
So want to welcome everybody to the Coach Scott Field Show tonight. Got an outstanding lineup for you. I sound like Jimmy Fallon in here right now talking about an exciting lineup, but man, do we have some great guests today.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Griffin is going to join us, and he's got a great, inspiring story. Excited to get him in here in the studio, a live in-studio guest, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And then we've got Harriman High Schools. Tyus Jefferson is going to join us in our last segment. Want to send well wishes out to T-Money, our show blogger. Has been a little bit under the weather, so T-Money, get yourself feeling better, my man. Take care of yourself, get some rest, and I know your family's dependent on you. We miss you tonight. We're going to try to pick up the load here and see if we can do it. But we're missing you, and we're thinking of you, and prayers go your way. Hey, don't forget, use that hashtag, Coach SF Show, for live Twitter interaction. Send those tweets in to us. Any quote that you hear that you like, if you got questions for our guest, send those in, or just any kind of comments. Love to hear what you guys are thinking out there as you're watching the Coach Scott Field Show. Also, send in those selfies of you watching the show. Get them into us, and we're going to have another Fan of the Week. So we look forward to seeing those selfies. A lot of times those are pretty fun, seeing the kids watching the show.
And who knows, we might have a prize or something.
Nice. Well, that would be pretty cool.
For the selfie of the week.
I like it.
So send them in.
Yeah, there you go. Real quick, let's start off with some shout-outs. Got several shout-outs. I've received some letters this last week in appreciation. I want to thank Ace Custis from Maryland. I want to thank Mary Margaret Williams there in West Yellowstone. Also want to thank Mike Hall down there in Springville. Appreciate those letters that you guys sent off. Means a lot to me. Janet Wise down in Florida. Great to reconnect with you, Janet, and hello to you and a big hug. Bob and June Stinnett, also down in Florida, hello to you. Also want to say hello to Stephen from Australia. Brandon and Stephen are spending the week at our house. It's their spring break, and we're really enjoying having him. So, Stephen, good to have you watching the show here tonight.
How's that grocery bill?
The boys can eat, huh? The boys be eating. I ain't going to lie to you. But anyway, also, Alex Losi. Alex, welcome back from your mission from Africa. Enjoyed spending last weekend with you, hearing your stories, talking about the things that you've been doing. It's been outstanding to catch up with you. Spencer Evans, right here in Salt Lake City. A nice shout out to you. And a special heartfelt shout out. This weekend is my wife's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
As gentlemen, we can't say how old she is, but boy, oh boy, she looks like she's 26. Gotta love that, huh? Yep. So happy birthday to Kim, my wife. Love you. Appreciate your support as always, and I couldn't do it without you. Another trivia for you. Last week, Nick, you got it. This date on 2004, what big happened in the NBA? Oh, it could be a stumper.
I don't know. 2004 on this date.
2004, this date.
I am clueless, which is nothing new. But
T-Mac, Tracy McGrady, scores 62 points versus the Washington Wizards on this date in 2004. So T-Mac, way to put it up there, big boy. Hey, we had a poll question this week. Bob, great job of creating that for us. Talk a little bit about the poll question, what it was, and kind of give us some results of what that poll question was.
Yeah, the poll question this week was, who's going to win? March Madness is here.
Yes,
it's just right around the corner.
Yeah.
Can't wait for it to get started. Who's going to take it all?
Yeah.
Who is going to take it all?
And what are they saying?
Well, right now, 59%, just upgraded there.
Nice,
are saying Kentucky, which Kentucky is 29-0. Second up, they have a three-way tie for second. Virginia, Duke, and Arizona all at 12%.
Nice.
And then we have Villanova at 6%. And we had the other category, but we didn't get any responses for others.
So no one has a Cinderella out there.
Nobody has a Cinderella. Let's throw in the Utes. The Utah Utes.
The Utes,
that
baby.
would be a Cinderella story.
Coach K has done a great job this season. They've built up the program. They're doing a nice job. They've got some nice talent. Hey, and don't forget, BYU's playing Gonzaga tonight, so that's going to be a fun one to see.
I wish my Cougars well.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them get into the tournament.
There you go. So good luck to the state teams there. Talking about the poll question, Kentucky, what depth that they have. I mean, they have got depth, they've got length, they've got athleticism. They're undefeated right now. Everybody's saying, hey, are they going to continue to be undefeated? I like what John Calipari's doing there with that Kentucky Wildcat team. But my buddy, Tony Bennett at the Virginia, my heart's with him because he and I have a relationship. So I'd like to see Virginia do well. So hey, we'll have to see what happens.
That's a funny twist of words. Your heart is with Tony Bennett, who happened to sing "I Left My Heart" in San Francisco.
You caught that, didn't you? Trust me, that was so intelligent. I'm not even smart enough to think of stuff like that. But anyway, it came out great. All right. So anyway, hey, some scores real quick with some NBA. Indiana beat Orlando tonight, 118-86. New Orleans is beating Brooklyn, 99-77. Cleveland is beating Dallas, 48-42. Toronto. The Spurs are playing well. I mean, they're up on the Toronto Raptors tonight. I had a difference in the score, but Utah is beating New York at home right now, 18-17. So we'll have to see how that score continues to play out. Again, send in those hashtags for us, and Coach SF Show. Make sure you send in your comments, your questions, and I see in the background our guest for our next segment is already here. Super excited to see Jeff here in the house, and we're going to sit and talk some hoops and life and his journey. So we're going to have a good time with that. Some other topics that are also talking about here. Syracuse got a big violation this last week from the NCAA. They talked about years of schooling and tampering that's been going on, where some guys within the program were taking tests for the kids. And it's sad to hear that because, they've now taken away a bunch of, Coach Boeheim's wins, which, again, if you're doing something wrong, you need to be held accountable. Yeah. But I also wonder, too, how many other programs are doing that but just haven't got caught? I mean, let's just be honest.
And it's sad that that it's even out there.
You better believe it is. It is.
The important thing is, basketball is great. Don't get me wrong. The education is so important. That's what's going to sustain them through their life. Without
a doubt. One of these days, there may be an incident or an injury that's going to end their career. They got to have that education to fall back on. And Bob, what is it? They are student athletes, not athlete students. Right. Come on. So let's put the emphasis back on that and make sure those kids are doing the right thing. But anyway, I was sad to hear that news. Russell Westbrook has been on a tear since the All-Star break. He was the MVP of the All-Star. He's averaging a triple-double right now. So I know, T-Money, you're listening to this, and I know that's close to your heart. The guy is just – he's taking it to another level. So, Russell, great job. Wesley Matthews, who I was able to coach, of course, he was here with the Utah Jazz. That NBA charity event that we had here when we had Steph Curry and Anthony Tolliver and Chauncey Billups in that group, Wes went down this last week with a torn Achilles. So we wish him the best of luck and for a speedy recovery. But if you've noticed, I would like to see some research being done into this because you're seeing more and more athletes going down with torn Achilles. Kobe Bryant did the same thing. Yep. You're even seeing some coaches with some torn Achilles. So I'm wondering maybe if it's just not preventative maintenance, they're not taking care of themselves, they're not stretching well enough, or what is it, and why are we having so many torn Achilles right now in the league? Just like how the NFL is going into, doing the investigations and putting millions of dollars into the concussions. Well, why don't we, take care of these athletes and try to find out why are we having these injuries and what can we do to prevent it? Right. Yeah. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if there's something with the shoes or something with the mechanics of how they're doing that.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. It'd be worth to investigate to again try to take care of the assets, which is their bodies for these guys. Nate Robinson, interesting project. Nate Robinson signs with the LA Clippers. Watched them play the other day. Of course, he does a good job in a backup role. He's a veteran. He's strong. He's got some ability. It's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. Also, looking at that number 8 position in the West, Oklahoma City has got 35 wins right now. New Orleans is at 34 wins, and Phoenix is at 33. So there's one game separating each of those teams, and it's going to be interesting to see how the West plays out. You look at someone like Wesley Matthews, who's going down with Portland. Is that going to drop their level also in the playoffs as we look at those top 8 seeds,
Right.
Getting closer to playoff time? Because here we are in March, you got till mid-April, so basically a month, 5 weeks till that playoff gets going. And these seedings, it's going to be fun to see how it all plays out with these trades at that last-minute deadline. And I think, 38 players moved at deadline? So, hey, the NBA has got an interesting landscape, and it's always changing. So it will be fun. And also I read a thing, too. The D-League is talking about, how they a lot of players are being developed. They get called up. You're seeing coaches, you're seeing front office people, but the referees now are talking about using the officials and using like a Bluetooth wireless headphone to expedite the calls, and they're going to use the D-League as a trial run to see if that's going to help speed up the game. And like some of these close calls, instead of it going back to Secaucus, and they have officials jet down, that way they're going to have somebody sitting there watching monitors and then hurry up and tell the officials, that way they can hurry up and move the progress of the game up. I think it's a great idea. You hear in Major League Baseball talking about what they can do to speed up the game for the product and for the fan experience. Why not use the D-League to test these headphones and again try to help speed up the game? I like it. I think it's a great idea because you do see at the end of the game, how many times are you watching a game, you're all intent, and the next thing you know, they're going to check the screen in the last 2 minutes, and then it takes 3 minutes to try to get a call and get the shot clock set right, get the, everything set up. So for the fan experience, I'm all for it. So great job, D-League. Love the innovation that you're doing there. Keep that kind of stuff up because it's progressive and forward thinking. Anything to help, promote the brand, I'm all for it, my man. All for it. Real quick, we're about ready to go here to a quick break, and we're going to have my buddy Jeff Griffin come in talking all things on his journey. So super excited to have him in there. Again, send in those selfies of you watching the show. And again, we really appreciate all the kind letters and comments that have come in here recently, and excited to have Jeff join us on this next segment. So we're getting ready to go to break. Send those selfies in, and again, hashtag Coach SF Show. Send them in. Keep them coming. Look forward to seeing you here right after the break. The Coach Scott Field Show, brought to you by Brave Haven Media, media with a pulse. Don't forget to call Kim Fields at Salon Dante in Sandy, Utah, 801-572-8812. We'd also like to thank the NFL Store and the NBA Store, affiliate sponsors of the Coach Scott Fields Show. Check out all of our affiliate sponsors at www.coachscottfields.com. Be sure to make your appointment with 9th Avenue Dental. Dr. Chris Tarbert will put a smile on your face. And now, back to the Coach Scott Fields Show. Are we live?
We are live.
We're back. Okay. Hey, we're here with the Coach Scott Fields Show here from Brave Haven Studios, and I am honored and humbled to have our special guest on with us right now, Mr. Jeff Griffin. And I couldn't do him justice to try to talk about, you know, his inspiring story and the fact that he's here in studio here with us tonight. Made contact with him last week and loved the passion that he had over the phone. And we got to talking, you know, wheelchair basketball and the medals that he's won. But I don't want to get too much into that because I'll let you share that story. But I can't wait this Thursday, you know, to get in the gym with you guys and shoot around with you a little bit. That's going to be awesome.
You know what? We love anybody to come out there. And what's interesting is a lot of people think that basketball is easy. And there's some intricacy there, right? You got to pass, you got to shoot, you got to dribble. But try doing that all with your arms.
Wow.
Dribble,
that's a
pass,
whole new dynamic.
Shoot, defend,
yeah,
and all that stuff. And so we're looking forward to that. Hopefully we won't hurt you too much.
I'm going to be in a wheelchair for the segment, and I'm going to need to be in a wheelchair when we're done. I'm going to get all tore up, but it's going to be exciting stuff. And matter of fact, we might even bring the cameras out with us and have some fun with it. So, Jeff, let's go into it, my friend. Talk a little bit about, you know, your growing up, you know, your aspirations. I know you played some college football. Talk a little bit about, you know, your high school career, playing college, some things and some dreams and aspirations that you had, and then take us through the accident that has left you, you know, as you are today.
Yeah, no, ever since I was a little kid, you know, I had a dream to play on the big stage.
Yeah.
I would lie down on the ground in my basement. I'd throw the football as close to the ceiling as I possibly could. And I just envisioned and dreaming myself catching a game-winning touchdown pass or whatnot. This will hurt a lot of the Ute fans out there, but my dream was to play at BYU Stadium, right?
Okay.
Down at BYU, and because they had great quarterbacks. I was a receiver. I wanted to, you know, be thrown to by some great quarterbacks, and,
right.
and I just dreamt about that. And it wasn't until my junior year that I got a letter, an invitation from legendary coach Lavelle Edwards.
Yes, sir.
Invite me to come down and visit his campus and talk to him and whatnot. And I was excited. Showed my friends the letter. They tried to take me out at practice, but it was great, and had a visit with him, and you know, I thought that after talking to him and Coach Pella, we realized that you know, I was going to serve a 2-year mission for the Church of Jesus Christ Latter Saints, and so redshirt the 1 year, 2 years on the mission, come back out of shape. You know, it was going to be 5 or 6 years before I played.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to go to Rick's College instead.
Yeah.
And apparently there was a lot of other kids who thought the same thing, get up there thinking that I'm all that, and I realized that, you know, there's a lot of good players at the junior college level.
Yeah.
And so they put me on the scrub team. I called it the meat squad every day, getting you know, bruised and battered, but there was times that we did some great things.
Yeah.
And the coach wouldn't let us travel, but he did want us to dress.
Yeah.
And the only reason that scrub players get in is if we're killing or getting killed. Yeah. We went 11-0 that year, undefeated.
Great season.
And it's tough on any level. And we went undefeated that year, and there was one particular game where we were up 34-0 at halftime. We came out, 2 quick scores. Coaches came up and down like, hey, anybody who wants to play, get in there.
Nice.
I'm like, this is my chance. This is my chance to find out what it's going to be like to be on the first team.
There you go.
You know, a stepping stone to my dream on going down there to BYU and playing. And I got out there, and it was awesome. Holding hands with my teammates, smelling the grass, just taking it all in.
You bet.
And this might be my only play, right? One play. I'm taking it in, and I'm thinking to myself, they've got to throw me the ball. So I went out there. Of course, they didn't throw me the ball. I come running off the field, and my fan club's going crazy. My 2 roommates.
Yeah. There you go.
And I'm just enjoying it. I'm like, this is it. This is a step closer to my dream.
There you go.
And of course, I got one more play, so two collegiate plays. I don't care what they tell you, they don't pay enough money to play football in college. So I went home to earn some money in Cache Valley, Logan area. And I'm like, what can I do to earn some money? So I started my own business as a painter. Wow. Not pictures, but buildings. And get a phone call from Napoleon Dynamite Country up there in Preston, Idaho. And 3 days later, and $3,000 richer, I'd have enough money to go back and play football. And buy my bullet bike.
Yeah.
You know, every time I saw a guy on a bullet bike, there's a girl on back. So I'm like, that's what I need to get. There must be like little small print that says girls included. But you know, I thought the girls would dig the wheels, and I was right.
Yeah.
I never did get to get on the motorcycle, but the girls dig the wheels. I'm telling you. My first dance, I was so nervous. I know I'm skipping here, but my first dance, I'm like, there's no way anyone wants to dance with me. I'm in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
How can I do this? And I go rolling into the gym, and of course, I felt like the whole place stopped and stared. The music stopped. Everyone stops dancing, looks at me, and I'm like, I want to run.
Yeah.
But I learned that you got to get on the floor and dance.
There you go.
You got to get on the floor and dance, and by the end of the night, I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. There was a line to dance with me.
Nice. There you go.
So the chicks dig the wheels.
Just gotta love it, man.
So I was on the right track. But I wasn't able to get my motorcycle.
Yeah.
But so yeah, early morning, I packed the truck up with the equipment, headed up to Preston, Idaho. Me and my co-worker, a really good friend, head up there. We hit the Utah-Idaho border, and there is road construction. And I'm thinking to myself, it's bumper to bumper traffic, and I'm like, there's this many people in Idaho. Yeah. How can there be how can there be a traffic jam here? But me and my buddy were able to talk about the important things of life, at least to young man, right? Football, girls, and bungee jumping.
There you go. Yeah.
So I was going to go bungee jumping that night, and for a young adult activity, never been. And get there, pull out the equipment. Wanted to get the top parts of the barn. We was painting a barn. Wanted to get the top parts over, so I pulled out the scaffolding, lifted it up there, pulled out my 30-foot ladder, leaned it up against the barn, and it wasn't even close, so I had to put another level. So I have 2 levels of scaffolding, 30-foot ladder on top of that. My buddy, I get my buddy to hold the ladder. He's just shaking. Yeah. The ladder's rattling, and I'm thinking to myself, maybe I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm like, what can happen? Yeah. We're invincible at that age. Right? That's right, yeah. We think so. Right. We think we are. And so I start climbing the ladder. Halfway up there, I'm like, hey, Doug, we can relate this to life. Step by step, precept upon precept. He's like, shut up, Griff, stop preaching to me. I'm like, all right, I'm sorry, man. Yeah. And get to the top. Couldn't quite reach the top, but I figured my sprayer would get to the top. And I know I'm making this longer than I need to, but doesn't work. Get down the ground. My buddy takes a breath for the first time. I go over and adjust the sprayer, make sure it works, get back on the scaffolding, lift the ladder one more notch, lean it up against the barn, and start climbing. And halfway up there, my buddy yells up to me. He's like, hey, Griff, I know you're excited to go bungee jumping. Yeah. But I want to remind you that you don't have a cord. Right. To get back at him, I'm like, shut up, Doug, stop preaching to me. Yeah, right. Right? As buddies or whatnot. And so I get up there, lift my arm above my head, and I'm about to pull on that lever, and that infamous feeling that we've all felt in grade school before, when we're leaning back on our chair, teacher tells us not to, but like we all think we're invincible. It's up to your mouth, down to your feet, and it settles in your stomach again. Felt that feeling, dropped the sprayer, and I'm like, oh shoot. Yeah. I think I said shoot. Can we? We're on the radio, so I said shoot, right? Yeah. And dropped the sprayer and instinctively jammed my thumb into that 1-inch gap that was right there by the loft doors to try to save myself from falling in, down there with the heaping metal down below. And all that did was just pull my thumb out and tear the top part of my thumb off and falling. At the bottom of the loft doors was a 1-inch ledge. That was my last resort. I had to grab onto it. Reached out, grabbed onto it with my fingertips. Perfect connection. But because the weight of my body and the pull of gravity caused my fingers to pop off. Wow. Hopefully to our listeners, some of them are thinking that my fingers had popped off my hand and it was the ledge that had popped off, right? We don't want anyone to get confused with that, but fell and had to do something quick. And so anyway, I thought I was going to gauge myself, drop, and break my fall, and as soon as I looked down to the bottom, I hit the ground straight-legged, stuck the landing perfect if I was a gymnast. Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah. So my legs came up, my back came down, L1 vertebrae exploded inside my body. Oh, wow. Crumbled to the ground, reached down to grab my legs to alleviate the pain. And my hand could feel my legs, but my legs couldn't feel my hands, and I knew something was up. Yeah. I knew something was up when I couldn't feel my hand, and so when my buddy recovered from his fall, he comes over to me and starts shaking me.
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I don't think you should be doing that."
Yeah.
And I remember looking up at Doug and telling him my fears.
Yeah.
And that was, "Doug, I think I'm paralyzed."
Oh man. Yeah. Wow.
And so Doug takes off, leaves me there, fallen 40 feet.
Ooh.
My dreams of playing football at BYU shattered.
Wow.
Riding a motorcycle, done. And so I was left there on the ground to decide what next.
Yeah.
What next?
So what thoughts are going through your mind when you I mean, you're not feeling the legs, you know it's something devastating, and of course there's probably some shock there too, but what are the initial thoughts that are in your head at that time?
Well, initially I'm like, I'm going to get back up and just keep going.
Yeah.
I tried to roll over, couldn't roll over.
Oh man.
Just lying there. In fact, I was holding on to some weeds to keep myself from hurting even worse. And I'm thinking, honestly, it was, I'm going to defeat this.
Yeah.
I'm going to be back.
Yeah.
And I think there was some being naive about it.
Yeah. A little denial, maybe.
Denial,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna be back, but not once at that moment did I think, why me?
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't until later.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until later when I entered that sauna of self-pity
Yeah. Sure.
and had that pity party of when I was in the hospital. I'm like, okay, now what? But at that moment, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pick up the pieces and I'm going to overcome this. And,
Love it.
And so, yeah, it was a defining moment at that moment.
For sure.
I could have stayed down and wallowed,
Yeah.
wallowed in those weeds, or I could get back up and fight again.
That's right.
And I've been fighting for the last 18, 19, I don't even remember how long ago. It's probably been close to 20 years now.
Yeah.
But no, I've dreamed a new dream.
Yeah. Kind of transformed your thoughts and reinvented yourself and your aspirations, and look at the success and some of the things that you've accomplished since that time, which is, to me, some of the most inspiring things. You know, we've got about 2 minutes, but just to talk about some of those things, you know, within 2 minutes before we go to our break, to come back and have you finish your story. I mean, world record holder for what, the number of free throws made for a wheelchair?
Yeah.
World record holder, fellas.
Guinness. Right.
Gotta love that, huh? That's cool. I mean, that's got all kind of sexy all over it, if you ask me. I don't care what anybody says. St. George Marathon winner. Right. And then we look at, you know, you represented Team USA with wheelchair basketball, won some medals there, of course, abroad. How about the #1 men's single tennis player in Utah?
Right.
Wow, that is just so cool. But then also you're still a father and a coach, and you're still active, and you do a lot of things with the church. I mean, and we're going to talk about some of those things, but what was it that, you know, you said, okay, I'm going to beat this. This is not going to define me. I'm going to do this. What was it that, where's that motivation come from? Where's that inspiration at?
Well, you know, you can go to my website, it's griffinmotivation.com, or Facebook at Jeff Griffin Motivation and whatnot, and you'll notice my mantra that I live by. It says, I'm possible.
Yes, sir.
At first, people are looking at it like, dude, he is an arrogant SOB.
Got to have it. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
God, I'm like, I am possible. I'm going to walk again someday. The doctors told me I'm not going to.
Right.
But, you know, I wish we had more time and whatnot, but, you know, I can stand and I can take a few steps now.
That's awesome. That is
They
awesome,
told me
Jeff.
that was impossible.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm possible.
That's right.
And really that idea of a higher power, a belief that you can receive help if you connect with that inner source, that inner power.
You betcha.
And so really, that's, you know, everyone's like, how do you do this? Honestly, I can't take the credit. I really can't.
Yeah.
There's a higher power. There's something out there that pushes me, motivates me, and helps me take those steps forward. So
love it.
I'm possible.
I love it. I'm possible here with Jeff Griffin. We're going to take a quick break for 2 minutes. We're going to come back, continue to share this inspiring story with my friend Jeff Griffin right here on the Coach Scott Field Show. We'll see you in 2 minutes.
We're out.
Awesome. That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. I'm serious. That's awesome.
So I fingers. Too many damn fingers from the basketball?
No. When I was a Holland fan in high school. Accepted a scholarship.
The Coach Scott Field Show brought to you by Brave Haven Media, media with a pulse. Don't forget to call Kim Fields at Salon Dante in Sandy, Utah, 801-572-8812. We'd also like to thank the NFL Store and the NBA Store, affiliate sponsors of the Coach Scott Fields Show. Check out all of our affiliate sponsors at www.coachscottfields.com. Be sure to make your appointment with 9th Avenue Dental. Dr. Chris Tarbert will put a smile on your face. And now, back to the Coach Scott Fields Show.
Here we are. We're back with the Coach Scott Fields Show, and we're telling some great stories, and we're walking barometer sticks. I mean, we're talking about how, we've got some special gifts and talents, and we're blessed, but we're also, walking weathermen, because we know when that storm's coming in. It's beautiful today, but we're prognosticating that there's going to be some weather coming in here probably within the next 24 to 36 hours. So just know you heard it here first. Not only can we tell basketball stories, we know when the weather is changing. Love the stories that you're sharing with us. And to get back to the serious side of it, we talked about some of the accomplishments that you have attained while being in a wheelchair. And I've seen your videos. I've been to the website. Again, give them your website so they can go check that out.
It is griffinmotivation.com. It's GRIFFIN motivation.com. And you can join me in my journey. And hopefully I can inspire you with your journey.
There you go.
I really do believe that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step.
There you go.
And it's important which step you take.
There you go.
You could end up going down the wrong path.
Yes, sir. I encourage you to get on that website. I've surfed around, saw the video, love the don't quit, the do it, how you got a bookend. Love your mentality. Love your passion. Love the inspiration. And that's why I feel we're blessed to have you be on this show, because, our whole vision and mission with this show is to empower, to educate, and grow. And anytime that we can inspire or lead and direct other lives, as this is a national, international podcast, we're glad that we can do that. But I know your story is going to inspire so many people who are out there watching, around the globe. So talk about some of these things too now. Of course, you're in the wheelchair. The football days are done. You traded one set of wheels for another set.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So, but again, love that attitude. But gosh, setting the world record, becoming a Guinness Book World Record, winning the St. George Marathon, representing the USA, winning medals, for our country, doing stuff with the Wheeling Jazz. I mean, it's like the list goes on and on. It's inspiring to me, and I've shared my personal story with you and how I look up to you, and I just think, this is amazing stuff, because I think, so many athletes get out there and they get to feeling sorry for themselves because they've had a tough day and their body's hurt. Well, you know what? There's people out there who would love to be in that arena and hear those claps or hear their their name yelled, and, just the whole thing. You have taken it to another level to be able to accomplish such a things, and I'm not doing it justice. What was it like to train for that St. George Marathon that you won, being in the wheelchair? And I mean, what types of stuff would you put yourself through mentally and physically to have that stamina and endurance?
Well, going back to the first, this was the first marathon that I've done, right?
Yeah.
It was the 2000, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, how cool would this be to win this? Because people look at the records like every 5 years, or every 10 years, or every millennia, or decades, or whatever. Yeah. So this is the year 2000.
There you go.
And letting you in on a little of my egotism, right?
Share it.
Right?
Share it.
I want to be number one. I want people look through the record books. There I am. In fact, my goal was someday, after I did the St. George Marathon, that first year was seeing my time. I'm like, you know what? I want to get it under an hour. So I could be on ESPN. Just so I could be on ESPN, right? Right, hear that tone right there with my name. Jeff Griffin wins the marathon under an hour.
Nice.
And I wanted to do it without my shoes, so I could tell my grandkids I ran the marathon with no shoes.
There you go. I love it.
But I just wanted to finish it. That first year, I just wanted to finish it.
Yeah.
I didn't care what time I had it in. In fact, I told my employees, I'm like, I'm going to go down and run this marathon, and how cool would that be to win it? And they're like, you're not going to win it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to finish. They're like, yeah, that's more like it. And so, but Kirk Brinkman, I don't know if you know, have heard of him, but he's won that St. George Marathon all those years. He went to the Boston Marathon. Wow. He was there. There was no reason for me to even to be there.
Yeah.
But before I got to the St. George Marathon, I knew that I tell everybody all the time, when the moment of performance has arrived, the moment for preparation has passed.
Nice.
You
Nice.
cannot prepare once you need to perform.
There you go.
And so what I did is I would go up to the avenues in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And I would park right there in the avenues, and I'd come down and I'd go down into the park. I don't even know what the name of the park is, but it's over there by the Capitol.
Yeah.
I'd go down there, climb back up it.
Wow.
Go over to the Capitol, go back up to the hospital.
Yeah.
And
love it.
And then I'd come back down and coast to my truck and call it a day. And I'd do that 3 times a week.
Wow.
And I'd go and lift weights and whatnot. And I wasn't even sure what to expect.
Yeah.
I was coaching the Jordan football team at the time as well. And so
Yeah.
I'd go work out, go coach football, and then it was getting crazy. And the race isn't until October.
Yeah.
And so there was times where I'm like, I wasn't getting in my workouts as well as I wanted to.
Sure.
And so, but I really do believe that when the moment of performance has arrived, the moment for preparation has passed.
Yeah.
And so that moment came.
Then it's on you.
The moment came, and I had to perform. I'm like, okay, what? So there's a dozen of us lined up, getting ready to go. They let us go first, so we don't run over people.
Yeah. There you go.
But we run over each other as we're fighting through that gate and pushing down there, and they shoot off the gun, and we take off. And Kirk Brinkman, he takes off, and the other groups take off. And I'm like, if I don't stay with this group, I'm going to be left behind.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep up with them and whatnot. And then there's the infamous hill in the St. George Marathon called Veo. And they always say that after Veo, it's all downhill. That's crap. No one's running if they say that.
Yeah.
There's Veo, and then there's more hills.
Yeah.
And more hills. But my strength, because of my preparation, climbing those hills, I think it's City Creek, wherever it was, but climbing those hills is when I started passing the competition.
Wow.
In fact, the leader.
There you go.
The leader turned his head to look to see if anyone else was coming, and I passed him on the left.
Maybe.
And I didn't even say anything, right?
Yeah.
It was on the hills. It was my little.
I'm getting goosebumps, man. I'm all fired up.
A little slow here, and then he goes back down and just starts cranking it out because he's like, he's not gonna let anyone beat him.
Yeah.
But what he doesn't realize is I just passed him on the left, and then I just took off.
Wow.
And so I'm cruising. People are having pancakes on the side of the road. I was tempted to stop and eat some. I was being escorted by the cop to make sure that no one, would run me over or whatnot. And there was moments where I was going downhill. There was some downhill in St. George, and I'm like, let's go for it.
Yeah.
And I just went, and I'm like,
wow.
I'm talking to the cop while I'm just cruising as fast as I can. I'm like, how fast am I going? He's like, 40, 45, 50, 55. And I'm like, let's go 60.
That's cool.
And so we're just cruising, and I'm like, will you go find out where the competition is?
Wow.
So he did.
So they weren't even within sight now.
No.
You're going.
And
wow.
5 minutes later, he comes back. He's like, they're back there. And so I let up.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, I got this in the bag. I let up. And I kick myself every time I think of this because the course record was 1:25.
Okay.
I'm just happy to do it under 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
So I just give it up a little bit. And so I'm coming down here to the finish line. The band is playing Rocky, the theme from Rocky, and I'm rolling down there. And I come through, and I see the sign up there, and it's 1:20. And I'm thinking, dude, I got this. I've got the record.
Wow.
And I go through thinking I have the record, but that was the time for the runners.
Okay.
My time was 1:28.
Wow. Still. Wow.
5 minutes from beating the course record.
Right.
On my first try. But going back to this, I'm like, I just won the St. George Marathon.
Yeah.
Which was a huge
unbelievable
accomplishment.
Great story. Yeah, I've got goosebumps that are listening to the story, man. I'm all pumped up. Heck with that. Okay, so let's go to some other stories. I got love for you, but man, this is good stuff. How about come on, man. You're representing the United States in wheelchair basketball. You're winning medals. Got to perform. You was an All-Star in the MVP of the All-Star tournaments and stuff. It's just so exciting and inspiring to see the things that you're accomplishing. And again, a lot of that has just got to be competitive drive. you know, but again, spiritual strength and everything. How much do you rely on your spirituality and things within your quest and on your journey?
There's only so much you can rely on, right? That motivates you, that inspires you, and your story inspires me and inspires other people, and perhaps my story might inspire, motivate others. But you still got to go out there and do something about it. Yeah. Right?
Yes, sir.
You still got to go out there and do something about it. And I love Vince Lombardi's quote that man cannot dream himself into character. He must hammer and forge one for himself.
There you go.
And I'm like, we got to do that. And so what I've learned to do and what I've learned for myself is I've got to create some routines and some habits, some good routines and some proper habits in order for me to perform when those moments come. For example, 2008, right? New Orleans, down there.
Okay. The All-Star game.
All-Star game. All-Star game down in New Orleans. We're down there in 2008. West against the East. The representatives come up to us and say, we're gonna do a little competition here. We're gonna do a world record. We're gonna shoot as many free throws from a minute from a chair. We want 3 from the East, 3 from the West, and we want you to do it. And they talked to me and my teammate, who was on the Paralympic team as well with me. And so we both turned to each other and we're like, I'm going to get this record. He's like, no, I want to get this record. And so they were going to do it at halftime. Well, I played the whole first half. Trooper Johnson is his name. Okay. Was sitting the whole first half.
So
his arms
he's sharking a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like, I'm going to get this world record. And so 2 of my other teammates on the East side, I was the 5th best free throw shooter at the 2004 Olympics. Okay. I like to say, I throw that out there because of what happened in 2008, right? It doesn't come just because. Right. You just can't show up, and I love Russell Westbrook's little commercial where he throws the water on the kid and said, let's go work.
That's right.
That's
the epitome right there.
That hit home to me personally.
Nice.
And so we get there at halftime. They line up. My 2 teammates on the East side who were 2 and 3 best free throws in the world, right? Yeah. And so they go first, and they're ready to go. They have everybody lined up. People are handing them the balls, and they're shooting as fast as they can. And these 2 guys hit 11 free throws in 13. Wow. In 1 minute. I'm thinking to myself, either this is really hard or they suck. Yeah. But I can't say they suck because they beat me, right? They're 2 and 3 in the world. Okay. I'm 5. Yeah. And so I get up there, and I'm like, okay, this is it. And so to kind of block everything out, I go through my routine. Nice. Which I have, and I don't know if you've seen it on my website or not, but I got a little routine where I shrug my shoulders, take a breath, bounce it 7 times. I can tell you the whole thing, but I'm not going to.
You're conditioned with it,
right? And so they
muscle memory.
They say go, and I'm like, and it's just draining. Boom, boom, nice. Boom, boom. After about 12, I'm like, this is easy. and then of course, pride set in, and I got humbled really quick, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Let me refocus here. And at the end, they stop it. I roll to my bench, and they're like 26.
Wow, that's like Papa Shot, Huh? He's got Papa Shot going on up there. That's my dude.
I was doing an underhand. No, I'm just kidding. But the official count was 25.
Wow.
So Trooper Johnson gets up.
Okay.
He's last. He wanted to see what he had to do.
Yeah. Where's the mark, huh?
Right. And so he starts shooting, and I just start counting. I get up to 20. I'm like, I'm gonna stop quick. The buzzer goes off. The official count, 25.
Wow.
So Trooper and I, we looked at each other and we're like, shoot off. Guinness is like, no, you both get it. So they took a picture of both he and I. I cut him out. And it's just me and Guinness. It's just me and Guinness. I don't care what they say.
Great
this
story.
This is my world record.
There you go.
Routines and habits that I established before I had to get, that I was placed in that situation.
Yeah,
where those other 2 crumbled.
Yeah.
I was able to
like you said, that preparation, that routine that you have is the same thing that we teach. Again, the good habits, muscle memory, you just become second nature for you. Right. So good stuff. How about now take us to being the #1 ranked tennis player in Utah. I mean, I have a hard time with a racket sport. I can't imagine trying to compete and do that. I mean, there's so much, there's a lot of movement, and I mean, how do you train for something like that? Is it the same?
You know what? Tennis was one of those sports where I still had my body brace on because I was so active and I love sports. My whole world was just taken from me. I'm like, now what? Yeah. And I didn't know what to do. And so I'm like, well, what can I do? And I'm like, I picked up a tennis racket. Before my accident, I was starting to get good enough to where the ball didn't go over the fence.
Okay.
It stayed in the court. And I'm like, let me try that. So I signed up for a tournament. I was in my everyday chair. I had my tennis racket, had my body brace still on.
Okay.
It's like playing tennis for an able-bodied with ski boots.
Wow.
But I'm like, I'm gonna just get out there and play.
Yeah.
And I was out there playing. I was holding my own. And I'm like, this is great. Once I got the right equipment and the right racket, my whole world opened up. And
wow.
And it was great coaching. You can't do this on your own.
Yeah.
There's no way you do it on your own. You gotta have a good team.
Yeah.
And we both know what team means, right? Together, everyone achieves more.
That's right. Amen.
And so had some great teachers and whatnot, and went out there and started beating those who were teaching me. And of course, I was sitting up taller.
Yeah.
And everyone hates this because when I come to a tennis game, I'm in my basketball chair and I'm like, hey, don't worry. I'm a basketball player playing tennis.
Yeah, so
you don't have to worry about this.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're sitting down here about a foot off the floor, and they're like, I got this. And then they realize that, okay, I can move as fast as they can, but I'm sitting up 3 feet taller than them.
Great stuff.
So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now, you're still doing some coaching, correct? Are you working with some of the high school kids here, or what are you doing now as far as, I know you're active with fatherhood and coaching, but what is it specifically that you're doing?
Well, right now I'm the coach, the director, the organizer. We do a 5K on the last Saturday of September every year. Love for you guys to come out, and you can go to the website and find the link to it. But it's Road to Recovery.
Okay.
Wheelchair basketball started because of the World War II vets.
Okay.
Came back from war not knowing what to do. Their legs are missing. They're injured. They're like, what can we do? So they started this league, and it's been getting bigger and bigger. Most people don't know that there's 200 teams out there.
Wow.
Around 2,000 players.
Around the nation. And a league. It's its own league, wheelchair basketball.
In fact, there's a college level as well. And we have a junior team here in Utah. And, if they don't have dreams or they have aspirations or people to look at to help them out, they won't know what to do.
Right.
And so going to the Olympics, being able to do the things that I've done, I've got to give back.
Yeah.
I got to give back. And so we've been helping out with these juniors. We've had like 5 or 6 who've gone on to college who are now one of the candidates for the 2016 Olympics.
Nice.
And so here they are getting an education.
Mentor.
They're playing wheelchair basketball. And so we have some vets that are on our team as well. And Thursday, hopefully you can come out. If not this Thursday,
I'm there.
The next one.
I'm there. I'm coming, man.
But,
I'm out there with you, buddy.
But
tell my wife right now, babe, Thursday night, I got an obligation. I love you. I know your birthday's Saturday, but I'm going to go hang out with my man here.
That's right.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. Any last words that you want to leave with our viewers, whether it's inspiring or, take us with something that you want to leave everybody with. What's your legacy? What's a statement that you want to leave with everybody to be known by?
Well, you've been lifting me up. You've been painting a great picture, a pretty picture. It hasn't been easy. I didn't try to go out and do all these things. Yeah. I try to be a good person. Try to do the best I can. Try to give back. Yeah. And just do the little teeny things. And it happened to be that these things, I was ready and prepared for these things. But it's easy to look good on the shoulders of giants. And I learned when I played football in college from my leaders on that team. Wow. When they helped me get into that game, they could have easily sat back behind. But I really do believe that every great man and woman of history is a man of service.
There you go.
And so to give back, find a way to give back, whether it's a little bit, whether it's a lot, whether it's monetarily, whether it's your time, or whatever it is, but serve. Serve your neighbors, serve your enemies. Put your arm around somebody and forgive them. You bet. Life is short, and so it's those small things, but just to give back. Find a way to give back.
Love it. Those are some great nuggets right there, and I'll tell you what, words to live by, and I can't wait to continue this relationship. And I can see right now our energy. We're gonna be buddies, man. We're gonna be. I'm not just saying this because we're on the air. We're gonna be hanging out. I don't care if we're going fishing together. We're doing something.
I can be color.
There you go.
Play by play. I can be color.
There you go. It'll be fun stuff. So anyway, you're looking at peanut butter and jelly right here. We're hanging out doing it on the Coach Scott Field Show. Hey, we're gonna take a break and we're gonna have Tyus Jefferson from those Mustangs out there in Harriman High School. So we're looking forward to having him come on. But Jeff, thank you so much for coming on and being a part of our show.
Thanks for having me.
Because of you, our show's even better. So thank you so much, and God bless you. And I will see you Thursday, my man.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff. Oh, good stuff, man.
The Coach Scott Field Show brought to you by Brave Haven Media, media with a pulse. Don't forget to call Kim Fields at Salon Dante in Sandy, Utah, 801-572-8812. We'd also like to thank the NFL Store and the NBA Store, affiliate sponsors of the Coach Scott Fields Show. Check out all of our affiliate sponsors at www.coachscottfields.com. Be sure to make your appointment with 9th Avenue Dental. Dr. Chris Tarbert will put a smile on your face. And now, back to the Coach Scott Fields Show. The Coach Scott Fields Show brought to you by Brave Haven Media, media with a pulse. Don't forget to call Kim Fields at Salon Dante in Sandy, Utah, 801-572.
We are live, getting our sexy swag on here with Tyus Jefferson, Harriman High School. My man looking clean in the Jordans. I just told him while we was on break, representing Pops there with the Under Armour. I'm not mad at you. How you doing, Tyus? Everything good?
Doing good.
Welcome to the show, my friend. I used to give you a hard time and call you guys the donkeys out there when you was competing against my son. And of course, you beat him at the end of the season, so I guess that was karma on me. But anyway, your senior year this year at Harriman. Shout out to all the Harriman High School people there watching Tyus here, getting his little swag on here on the Coach Scott Fields Show. Thrilled to have him. Talk a little bit about your senior year. How did it go? How did you guys finish up? I'm probably a little disappointed. Didn't finish as high as what you wanted to, but still had some success, and you had to overcome some adversity yourself. Tough act to follow coming in here after Jeff Griffin, huh?
Yeah.
And it makes you think, okay, this little elbow thing ain't nothing. We got to get through this, huh?
Yep.
But talk a little bit about the injury and kind of, how you had to adapt with that injury this year, because I know it was a challenge, but you still did a good job.
Right. So I dislocated my elbow 2 times before the season started, so I was in like a hinge brace and like a cast and all that.
Yeah.
So like the doctor was like, you're fine. It's the chances of it happening is really low, like really, really low. And I was like, okay. So I come back, play 4.5 games, come back, ball goes up, go up for it, and I feel it pop out.
Oh, man.
And I just felt my stomach. I saw everyone. I saw their face, and I was like, oh. I look up at my mom. I see her walking down. I was like, it's over. Like I said it.
Isn't that amazing though? The first person you look to,
Yeah.
you look over towards Mom, and Mom was
It was
probably crying,
like a
and you're
movie.
like, oh,
It was like
worse.
a movie. Everything was slow motion. I was just got to the doctors. They were like, I don't think we got it in all right.
Wow.
Go to the specialist, and he's like, yeah, they did all right. So now it's just a recovery process. So we're like, okay. And he's like, I've been doing research, and they said like the dislocation is like 1% chance.
Wow.
And you're part of that 1%. I was like,
gee, a stat that I didn't
Right.
really want to
That's
get my
not what I
senior year.
wanted.
I'm trying to get 20 and 10, and you're
Yeah.
telling me I'm a 1% on my elbow.
yeah. And I
Oh.
was like
Yeah.
my just was like, my luck's getting worse. And
Yeah.
so I started going through rehab and stuff, put me in a splint, and I come back to the doctor, and he's like, you can play, but you have to play with a brace on. Right when he told me I can play, I was like, I want to play. I need to be there for my team. I'm a team captain. Like, I need to step up for these guys.
Yeah.
So then I come back, and we win two big games in a row against like Westlake, and we beat American Fork.
Right.
We just
Again, you're competing in probably the most competitive region and the highest level region in basketball here in the state. I mean, so to win those games and get that underneath you to build the spirit and build the morale, it had to feel good for you. Huh?
Yeah, the second game we played American Fork, and they just came off a W against Lone Peak, so they were feeling all good. And it's at home, and we come out there and we just killed them. We beat them by like 20.
Oh boy!
And they were just like, they were all shocked. They didn't think it was gonna happen.
Took you too lightly, huh? You snuck them.
we came up on them. They weren't ready, but then like the season started progressing. I started like feeling more confident in my brace and like realizing that I could just do the same. You just can't focus on it. Just play basketball and just be you and help the team do whatever it takes.
There you go. So you just kind of adapted your game and figured out a way, you know, to help and contribute. Maybe not so much scoring, but the passing and the defense and all the other tangibles that coaches look for. Correct?
Yes.
Good for you. So how did your season end this year?
We didn't make it to playoffs this year. We lost to Pleasant Grove in overtime, and Riverton beat Lone Peak in overtime, so that's what sent them.
Yeah.
And
I've even heard some rumors that maybe someone lost on purpose so that there would be. I'm just saying, I've heard it, little tweet birds, you know. But anyway, sometimes it happens. It was bad luck for you, but now your playing career's over. Talk about, you know, how have you done, you know, in the classroom? What type of GPA do you have? I know you've always been a great student, great person, great support system, loving family. So let's talk about those attributes, because I'm sure you want to go on and play some college ball, correct?
Right. I have a 3.5 currently
Good
GPA,
for you.
and so I have to go take the ACT again because that score is not high, but I plan on getting that.
But you're probably doing some preparation.
Yeah, I'm studying.
Good.
Getting ready for the next one that's coming up so I can get a better score.
Okay. Now, so do we have a surgery in the near future ahead for you, so that way we can get you strong and rehabilitated? And
I have surgery this week, Thursday, and so I go in. It's a 4-hour surgery.
Wow.
It's like the baseball players, the Tommy John, except it's on this side, so it's going to be a big old scar.
Okay.
It's going to be nice. And
but see, that you can tell that to the girls, like, oh, look at that scar. And they'll be like, oh, Tyus, you poor thing. And then you can kind of milk that.
I'll come up with a nice story for them, saying I traveled the world.
I got to teach him something. I got to teach him something, so I got to. Yeah. So, okay, so the season's over. You're about ready to have surgery. How long before you can get back to playing? How long of a rehab period do you need for this type of surgery?
Well, they said like expected recovery time where I'm full, like I can full-fledged play is like 8 to 9 months.
Okay, so there's going to be a lot of rehab, physical therapy, that type of stuff. And I know you with your determination. You've got a wonderful support staff behind you. I mean, support system, I'm sorry, but you're going to get it back right. You probably come back even stronger than what you are now.
That's what they say. This surgery, it doesn't like scare people. Like this surgery, like if you have this, it's going to be a great elbow. Like
nice.
Better than it's ever been. So
nice. Well, our thoughts and prayers are going to be with you for a speedy recovery. Are you talking with some schools now? I know your teammate has already committed to a school, and we want to wish him the best. As going out to the east. Is Dave also going on a mission here soon? Or
yeah, he's leaving. I want to say April.
Okay. Wow.
So
want to wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, he's graduating early, but
awesome.
I was blessed enough to play with Everett over the summer.
The
Salt
Rebels.
Lake Rebels.
That's right.
And when I hurt my elbow, he was like, "I'll help you," and so he's been talking to a bunch of colleges. So nothing solid yet, but he's helping me, and I'm really blessed for him.
So are you going to be able to do any type of playing? Or are you going to kind of travel with Everett a little bit, kind of introduce yourself to coaches, let them know that hey, you're out there? Because I'm hoping that there's going to be a lot of coaches watch this tonight and see the quality person that you are. Your hard work, your work ethic. You've got a great skill set. You're a nice little point guard. I mean, you read, assess. I mean, you pass well. You can score. You're going to bring all those attributes, and you're going to come back even physically stronger after this surgery. And it's amazing now with technology, because I've seen things that used to be career-ending type surgeries that years ago, there's just no way. And now a surgery, something like this, like they said, in some months. And knowing you're young, you're going to heal quickly. Now, if I would have that surgery, it would take me 3.5 years to get healthy. So you're young, you're going to mend quickly, and like I'm saying, you're going to come back even stronger. Do you have any other types of plans, for the summer? I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of rehab and stuff. You guys going to do some vacations together, or what are your plans here the next few months as you move forward?
Next few months, I want to get better and just focus on rehab and stuff. But I want to spend the moments, my last couple of months in high school. Don't know where I'm going, so I just want to spend with the people that I care with the most. So like my family, friends.
Love it.
So
and I'm going to tell you something else. when I was a freshman in high school. Of course, I was also quarterback on the high school football team, and I broke this bone right here when I passed and hit the top of a helmet. So that whole time that I was in that cast, I was still on the basketball court, and I did everything left-handed. My dribbling became better. I got to where I was shooting threes with my left hand. I was more of an ambidextrous type player. So you can, even though you may have this side down, you can still do things and train and practice, prepare to get that left hand just as good. So still get out there, do that shooting, work on different moves. You can do, regular layups. There's so. Get in the gym with me. I got you.
Yeah, no, my dad, they told me I had to play with a brace, and I had this big bulky brace that I thought I could play in. I was like, I went and shot in the gym. I was like, I can't play in this. So he was like, well, you want to go home? I was like, no, I'm fine. And I shot like an hour and a half just left-handed.
Always find a way, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Just never know.
Good.
Just got to keep it good. Just
keep
that left hand always on point.
There you go. Good. What are you interested in as far as studying? What is it that you're wanting to get into as you get into school? I mean, I know a lot of kids change their major several times, but what are you thinking about as far as like a course of study for you?
I want to study maybe like something like business oriented, or like human resources, because human resources because they make good money, but like business, because business is like involved in everything. So I feel like if I get a business major, then I'll be pretty good, and like I can get anything. So
what I hear maybe you saying is when the playing days are done, years from now, that you may own a business and kind of do your own thing.
Yeah.
Knowing you're probably gonna be selling some Jordans or something out there.
You already know, Scott. I'll hook you up with some.
I need to step my shoe game up.
Gotta make you look fly.
I gotta work on my game a little bit. You guys always had those sexy socks on too, so I gotta step my sock game up a little bit. Huh?
No, I see you with the sock game tonight. I just got some Nikes.
All right. Well, if there's any young players out there at Harriman right now who looked up to Tyus Jefferson and said, "I want to be the next Tyus," what words of advice and what nuggets could you share with them so that they could be the next Tyus Jefferson as they're coming up? Because obviously you're a role model out there in the community. For those young kids out there watching, what words of advice do you have for them?
Never stop working, and never let anyone tell you something you can't do, because just prove them wrong. Haters equal motivators. That's what I always say.
Oh, wait, can you bring that again?
Haters equal motivators.
You heard it right here on the Coach Scott Field Show. Once again, Bob, we're bringing some juicy nuggets to them viewers, aren't we? Gotta love that. Any other last words that you want to share with anybody out there? Shout outs to your family or anything?
Shout out to my mom for always being there for me, helping me through everything. Shout out to my dad for always pushing me and never letting me settle for anything.
Nice.
And my friends, Osiris, AJ, JJ, Brandon, DeAndre, Benji, love you guys.
And we only got 2 minutes now, so I'm just messing with you. That's good to give love like that. I like that. And now how about you've got a brother? So what's he doing?
He's gonna be good. Football player.
Okay.
He's gonna be a football player.
Shout out to the little man. Shout out to the little man. I know he's got some skills. He's been watching you and he's modeling you.
After we lost, he sent me this text and really got to me. So I want to look up to. He looks up to me, and I gotta prove him. Help him out through everything whenever he needs something. So.
Give that young man a special shout out.
Love you, little man. Keep working. You got special days in front of you. So.
Gotta love it. Hey, awesome. Hey, we really appreciate you tuning into the Coach Scott Field Show here tonight. It's been an inspiring story. Thrilled to have Tyus in here with us tonight. Thank you for allowing us into your home to share these wonderful stories. Again, we're all about empower, educate, and grow. And each step in your journey, no matter what you do, we hope that you've taken something from us that will add to your repertoire to bring sexy to your game. So anyway, God bless you. We will see you next Tuesday with another outstanding lineup. I've got a person who hopefully can come in as a live studio guest next week, again with some more inspiration, and we really appreciate you. So again, use that hashtag CoachSFShow. Send in those tweets, and hopefully you're sending in those selfies of you watching the show. Like my man, Tyus Jefferson, going to the next level. We'll be thinking about him on Thursday when we're out there in them wheelchairs, sending prayers your way, because sounds like that ligament or whatever is coming for you, huh?
Yep.
All right, we're going to get it done. We will see you next week. God bless, and may everything be safe for you.